Hello everybody, welcome to this new chapter, diagnostic tools, various brands of diagnostic tools and also the concerned software. Now when it comes to OEM diagnostic tools, there are some tools like Techstream, ODI, VIDA, and we are going to talk about them in a more elaborate manner. In the context of practical tools and diagnostic tools for EV connected vehicles, OEM diagnostic tools play a crucial role in maintaining, troubleshooting, updating, and calibrating various subsystems, including high voltage batteries, inverters, traction motors, BMS, and thermal systems. I'm sure all of you know these components, high voltage batteries, inverters, traction motors, are all inevitable parts of the electric vehicles or indispensable part of electric vehicles. Now, OEM diagnostic tools are typically proprietary, developed by original equipment manufacturer and authorized tier 1 suppliers and used in dealerships, service centers and R&D facilities. So usually these diagnostic tools are highly proprietary because of the risk of the cyber security. Nowadays more and more OEMs are shifting towards proprietary tools. Now, these tools are especially important in connected EVs where diagnostics may involve telemetry data, OTA updates, and secure communication with backend servers. All right. Next, what are the OEM diagnostic tools? Now, what exactly are these diagnostic tools? OEM diagnostic tools are software applications often paired with hardware interface like VCI that allow a technician to, now we will see the functionalities. It allows a technician to read clear DTCs. That means diagnose errors from ECUs, VCUs, BMAs, OBCs, etc. Next is to perform ECU level diagnostics, that is deep access to vehicle specific parameters. And next is view live data parameter logs, the real time telemetry for voltage, current, temperature, etc. And talking about the perform calibrations and coding, reconfigure modules or adopt replacement parts. Now execute service functions. Now what is execute service function? Battery balancing, isolation test, pre-charge test, etc. Now flash update firmware, OTA or wired ECU reprogramming. And talking on the final functionalities, communication over UDS, CAN, and data over diagnostic over internet protocol. What does this mean? Using standard or proprietary diagnostic protocols. Okay, so with the help of standard and diagnostic protocols, communication is carried out. Now we will talk about the major OEM diagnostic tools used in EVs. First is the Techstream. This is proprietary of Toyota, Lexus, and it is used including electric vehicles, hybrid electric vehicles, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. So this is proprietary tool which is developed by Toyota for diagnosing Toyota and Lexus hybrid electric vehicles. Now interfaces over CAN, UDS and supports HV battery diagnostics. And coming to the live features, it enables live data on the hybrid battery SOC and SOH. It also gives proactively battery cell voltage imbalance detection. It also tells inverter MG error codes and ECU programming for BMS and VCU. Now talking about compatibility with and also it is compatible with Mongoose Pro and Toyota's proprietary VCIs. Now, for example, on a Toyota Prius EV, Techstream can isolate degraded high voltage module within the battery pack and run forced battery rebalancing routines. Okay, so along with the diagnostics, it can also take up a corrective action. So that's how advanced this Techstream is. Next comes the ODIS, Off-Board Diagnostic Information System, which is proprietary of Volkswagen Group. So Volkswagen Group means it covers all the cars like Volkswagen, Audi, Skoda, Porsche. These are all the marquee brands of Volkswagen. Now, official diagnostic tools of VAG Volkswagen brands include electric platforms like ID.3, ID.4, Audi e-tron, Porsche Taycan. Now, it also supports DOIP, diagnostics over internet protocol, essential for high-speed data in connected EVs. Now talking about the key features, diagnostics for battery modules, thermal management, and second important feature is it has an immobilizer function, ECU adoption, and basic settings. Third is battery preconditioning, software version checks, and integration with security feature diagnostics for protected ECU access. And it also accesses Volkswagen Central Database for guided troubleshooting. All right, so let's talk about one example, a common use case. ODIS can diagnose cell temperature imbalance in Audi e-tron and perform remote controlled battery firmware updates. So even this modern ODS, modern diagnostic tool can not only diagnose the cell temperature, but it also can perform some remote control battery firmware updates. It can also take some corrective actions. Next is Volvo proprietary VIDA. Okay, VIDA is acronym for Vehicle Information and Diagnostics After Sales. Now, used for Volvo EVs like XC40 Recharge, EX30 and C40. It's integrated with Volvo Cloud for connected services. And when it comes to key features, HV battery diagnostics and conditioning, live data for DC-DC converters, cooling circuits, OBC, and calibration after thermal system or inverter replacement, and software download and flashing for all ECUs. Okay, so these are the various key features of the VIDA. Now, VIDA use case or live example is VIDA allows battery cell data visualization and thermal mapping for predictive fault analysis in Volvo EV platforms. Okay, now let's talk about Porsche. Even though Porsche comes under Volkswagen, there is one particular customized tool called PIWIS, which is meant exclusively for Porsche EVs like Taycan. Now, high-end diagnostic tool for Porsche EVs like the Taycan, and it combines diagnostics with performance, tuning, and thermal system control. It allows SOH, SOC monitoring, thermal pack diagnostics, and firmware diagnostics for VCU, BMS, and inverters. Now, talking about the Consult 3 Plus, which is a proprietary of Nissan Automobile. For vehicles like Leaf and Ariya, which are very popular Nissan electric vehicles, Consult 3 Plus is the concerned diagnostic tool. And the key functions: isolation, resistance test, charger, inverter, BMS, DTC retrieval, and reset functions, post battery replacement, and thermal runway detection routines. So these are all the key functions performed by Consult 3 Plus tool. Last but not the least, IHDS Honda. Now this is, and also GDS2 for by General Motors, Xentry for Mercedes-Benz, Clip for Renault, INPA for BMW. These are all the customized onboard diagnostic tools for the various OEMs. Now, all these various tools have something in common, which I am going to outline below. Now, each of these tools exclude extensive support for EVU diagnostic functions across. First is battery pack faults, inverter failures, SOC, SOH logging. Okay, this is extremely important. SOH, SOC, it is the single most important parameter to identify the battery health. Okay, that's the reason this is of such high importance or paramount importance. Now coming to high voltage insulation checks and also telemetry updates, especially in connected EV platforms. All right, now we will see the diagnostic protocols. We talk about diagnostic tools. Now we are going to talk about some diagnostic protocols used by various OEM tools. Okay, first is the UDS ISO 14229. This is the most in use protocol. This is standard diagnostic tool for BMS, VCU, and inverter. Now, keyword protocol 2000, it is still used in older EV models for ECUs, and diagnostic over internet protocol used for high speed diagnostics in modern EVs. Also, the CAN, of course, this is like the, how to say, the granddaddy of the communication protocols. It is the backbone for all ECU communication. And when it comes to LIN, the local internet network, used in some auxiliary components like HVAC and sensors. Now, talking about the security and access control, the modern EVs are cyber secure, and diagnostic access may require security access unlocking via seed key, the SFD unlock for VA vehicles, cloud authentication for flash updates, and OEM specific access tools, user versus engineering mode. Okay, the OEM specific access level is extremely important aspect of security and access control. Okay, so what are the various hardware interfaces involved? Okay, OEM's tools usually require vehicle communication interface. Now we will see the name of the OEM and the common vehicle communication interface. For Toyota, the communication interface is Mongoose Pro and Denso Techstream. For Volkswagen, VAS 61554A, and for Volvo, DICE, Porsche, PT3G, BMW, ICOM, and GM MDI2, and for Mercedes-Benz it is C6 multiplexer SD Connect. Now explaining this is beyond the scope of this particular video. So as on now you just note down that for every diagnostic there is a customized hardware interface, and these are the names of the hardware interfaces for the respective OEMs. Now let's see one example, diagnosing an electric vehicle with ODIS. The connect ODIS with VAS 6154 interface. Now ODIS is corresponding diagnostic tool for Volkswagen. Now first you run the vehicle scan, next you which leads to the DTC, and from the DTC you understand that battery cell voltage deviation is happening, and then you open guided fault finding, and tool reads cell voltages, pack current, and temperature sensors. Okay, now talking about the system recommends battery module replacement, then run basic settings. Next is flash updated BMS firmware and clear DTC and retest. All right, so these are the various recommendations by the system when the battery module replacement must happen. So in summary table, I will again recount the various tool names on the OEMs: Toyota, Techstream, Volkswagen, Otis, Volvo Vida, Nissan, Consult 3 Plus, BMW, Ista Plus, Mercedes-Benz, Xentry, and GM, GDS2. Okay, so hope all of you got a brief overview. Of course, by no means is this list exhaustive, but I mentioned the names of some popular OEMs and their respective tool names. Okay, hope it gives you a head start. Thank you.